his hoods down, I asked. Because it is a chance since I'm on the red line. Chance it must be down, answered Dr. Marcacius. I see, I said. Target was awful. It just keeps getting worse and worse here. I know. I literally cannot hear myself think. Me too. We then began walking up the platform. Anyone come for us, I asked. No, answered Dr. Marcacius. What about on the elevator platform? Nope, none on there either. Why do you think that is? Because it could be too busy for law enforcement, which is why I made you jump over the turnstile. Has anyone gone after you yet for doing that? No. That's the important part. There was a pause that was continued by walking up the platform. Have you done anything on the platform, I asked. I just loitered, other than help a few people, because it's my duty to do that as a prince, answered Dr. Marcacius. What did you do, I asked. I have helped handicap people into trains. I wheel them over and then send them in. That is nice. I told Sam and George to do that too. Did they listen? I hope so. We then stopped talking after another red line train turned in. We rolled in. The noise is deafening, I said. That's why I'm glad the green line train is above us, because this I know would be too much for George, said Dr. Marcacius. I know. We then reached the end of the platform and turned around as Dr. Marcacius' phone went off. Hello? Dr. Marcacius asked into his phone. There was a pause. Hello? Dr. Marcacius answered into his phone. There was another pause. Odd, said Dr. Marcacius. What is odd, I asked. No answer, but I could hear the background as if it were the elevator platform. Walk faster! Good point. We then began walking toward the main entrance. I don't see anything, said Dr. Marcacius. Neither do I, said Hannah. I think we are okay. Always expect the unexpected. I do. I'm hoping Bush in the pickpocket. I agree. We then approached the main level transport station and there was nothing going on. Should we go up, I asked. Yes, but it's too busy now, answered Dr. Marcacius. Then ASAP. Yes. 3 minutes waiting and nothing changed at all. I better call them, said Dr. Marcacius. Dr. Marcacius just got out of his phone and then began smelling tear gas. Do you smell? I asked with tears in my eyes. Tear gas! Run! Asked Dr. Marcacius. We then ran to the other end of the platform. How long would you say we have? Hannah asked. 3 minutes, and the next train comes in 2, answered Dr. Marcacius. Just then we saw people running toward us from the tear gas. Is that Sam and George? I asked. No, answered Dr. Marcacius with fright. Just then people with gas masks came running out of the smoke from the tear gas. Did you notice they were wearing a pin that Dr. Jacobs was wearing in Detroit? I asked. I saw Dr. Marcacius took a closer look at it. I do, said Hannah. There they are, said one of the men like a stormtrooper. You may fire when ready, said Dr. Marcacius. I'm ready now, I said. We then brought out our toy machine guns and we opened fire right away. Ha ha ha, said the gas mask people. Get them, yelled Dr. Marcacius. The train was pulling in and then we got on the roof of the car and knocked them out. Just then Sam and George came running down. They were crying because of the tear gas. We want those bombs, said George. Did they set them off on the elevator platform? Dr. Marcacius asked. Yes, answered George. We need to get out of here, said Dr. Marcacius. We've been rushing out of the platform. Right under Roosevelt Station was a free bus. Here's a free bus, said Dr. Marcacius. We then entered the free bus and then the door shut. Got them, said the driver. Oh, fuck, it was a trap, said Sam. Sam then began attacking our driver until he was knocked out before he began moving. Just then we began to smell something unusual. What is this you're smelling, I asked. Then I didn't remember a thing until I realized I was in a room that looked like a cross between an ambulance and a prison cell. Of its size and the fact we were moving. Where were we, I asked. Sam and George were asleep. Where were we, I asked. Sam and George were asleep, but Marcus was awake. Crap, we were in transport to something bad, said Dr. Marcacius. That was enough to wake up George. Where were we, George asked. Hopefully somewhere in the Chicago area, said Dr. Marcacius. Dr. Marcacius got up from his seat to wake up Sam. Wake up, Sam, said Dr. Marcacius. Sam began to move. Do you have your weapons, said Dr. Marcacius. Sam then brought out a single tear gas bomb while storing in his pant leg while I was looking around. What are you looking for? Dr. Marcacius asked. Something to know where we are, I answered. I then noticed something on the ceiling. It says Lombard Asylum Transport, said Hannah. Just then the intercom turned on. We have your weapons, said the intercom, laughing. Sam then got really upset and began punching the wall. No punching, said the intercom. Sam then went to a window that overlooked where the drivers were. Sam then began tapping the window and then did it harder, and then we saw an evil look on his face. What do you have plans of doing? Dr. Marcacius asked Sam. Sam smiled. Sam then lit a tear gas bomb, and when the wick began to get low, he threw it against the window, and since it was a bomb, it exploded and destroyed the window. Get down! Dr. Marcacius screamed. Apparently the bomb could only be heard from outside because of how thick the walls of the truck were. Sam, I could see, was reaching for his gun. And then he got it. And then one the return left us for a door, and then we left the lock, and he opened the doors like that. And unfortunately, and then he got it, and then the return left through the return left, and went where the lock is, and he opened the doors like that, and unfortunately, it hit the car behind us, and the car lost control and crashed into us, so we felt a painful jolt, and we could see the airbags pop out on the other side. Someone jumped out of the car and went to the back seat to grab his weapons, and I could see that he took the cops' firearms. It didn't complain because of self-defense. Let's go, said Dr. Marcacius. We then jumped out of the car, and we took off running, and we were long range away before we heard the cops show up. What do you think we should do now? Asked George. We need to think about something. Asked the doc. I said, what is it? Dr. Marcacius asked. What that logo means that we saw on those people who bombarded us at Roosevelt on Dr. Jacobs, I said. I need to figure out where we are first, said Dr. Marcacius.